You're watching TVC Breakfast. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed his displeasure over the decision of Francophone countries who are part of the West African Economic and Monetary Union to replace the CFA franc with ECO ahead of the remaining member states. He sees the approval of a bill by French finance ministers to reform the CFA franc with legislations already passed in the parliaments of some of these countries without discussing with the larger community as a letdown. Already remarkable progress had been made by the West African Monetary Zone, including adopting the name ECO, an exchange rate regime, and the model of the Common Central Bank and the symbol. Francophone African countries have been part of this project and are also in the majority in the West African sub-region. Now they have adopted the ECO to replace the CFA franc, disregarding other member states. Economists and chartered accountant Dr. Kenneth Olise joins me now via Skype from Lagos. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Now, let me just quote what the president said. He, after expressing his displeasure by the 7 Francophone countries, he said that it seems that this move is an issue of not trusting us for discussions. Is that what it is? And do you share the same concerns as the president?
Yes, I agree completely with the president that we have to show some caution and to take it gradually, because as you know, the region is not homogeneous; it's rather heterogeneous, but mainly in 2 divisions. You have the Francophone and the Anglophone. The Francophone is the 8 members, while the Anglophone there are 7 members. And you know that recently the Francophone, when Qatar, Alliance Qatar, and the French president tried to make safer, make safer, adopt ECO before Nigeria. That created a lot of misgiving among member states. So there's no uniformity in terms of time, in terms of application, and there are different alignments, interregional alignments. The Francophone, they have common currency already, but they use the CFA. The CFA itself is tied to Euro, and that the other countries have the independent country exchange rate.
But some cross-section of Nigerians are saying perhaps this is the hands of Esau and the voice of Jacob, that perhaps France might have a hand in this.
No, I didn't get that.
Some are saying that perhaps this is a situation of the hands of Esau and the voice of Jacob, that perhaps France might be pushing these countries to take this step.
You cannot rule out interests in this. You remember that we are all member states have these colonial ties, and they still maintain them. But the greatest problem here is that the intra-regional trade is rather too low. So the strength of the ECOWAS itself is low, for them to abandon their colonial masters. So there's always influence at the background on the development of ECOWAS, especially the development on this monetary on the ECO.
So where does this leave the ECO, and what are the likely implications of this move?
The continue to ECO is it's very good for us to have ECO, because it stabilizes the exchange rate, reduces cost of trade. But even at that, like the president cautioned, we have to take it, we have to apply it cautiously, because we are so weak in terms of individual country. Remember what has happened in the Euro region, that France, Germany, and UK that are the strongest in the region were having different interests, especially UK, that ultimately led to UK pulling out of
the Eurozone.
The Eurozone. So you don't roll it out here. We don't have that strong economy individually. As at from 2010, between 2010 and 2015, the inter-regional trade is only 15% on average. Most of our trading relationships and partners are with European Union and America, and recently strongly with China. So we don't have that kind of economic independence and muscle to say, look, we must do it this way. And coupled with this internal division, as I was saying. So there's that influence, maybe unforeseen hands, in the meddling of
All right, Dr. Olise, we'll have to leave the conversation here for now. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Now, with this move by the Francophone countries, where does it leave the plan to build a monetary union by the West African countries?
It's likely to slow the process, and one expected this will come in because of division, in the makeup of the ECOWAS. The Francophone, they have their title CEFA, and CEFA itself is so, and they are mostly countries that were colonized by French. So it means that they are being influenced on what to do, because if ECO comes on, it means that they're going to have ECO as a strong currency, the euro, the dollar, and the yuan by China. So the process is going to be very, very slow.
Okay, so some cross-section of Nigerians are saying that perhaps we should be pushing or advancing plans for a pan-African payment and settlement system for currency interchange between them. Did you get my question? Dr. Olise, are you there?
Yes, but I can hardly hear you. You can speak up a little bit.
All right, I said that some cross-section of Nigerians are of the opinion that perhaps we should advance plans for a Pan-African payment settlement system for currency interchange between the other countries instead.
Well, it is not bad, but one of the fundamental requirements for the success of this kind of currency integration is that we have to have a reasonable intra-region trade. So far, it's averaging 10%, the trade within the sub-region. So, and we are dealing more, individual countries are dealing more with separate nations, especially the colonial masters that they have close allied with. And of course, they will not allow you have your way that easily. Having an African currency arrangement, what is the level of trade among member states in Africa that will warrant somebody wanting to take out this? Let's have this kind of currency. Majorly, all the member states deal on primary products. There's not much manufacturing activity going on in Nigeria or in the member states. So that's one of the things making it weak and unattractive. And if euro, you have to get this thing right. If euro as strong as it is, that will form as far back as 1957 before our independence, had problem. They're thinking of they had pulled out. So you find out that it's a threat. The recent, as championed by Trump, is talking about it's almost a threat, to globalization as in general, because they're saying that America first, and America is the strongest economic power. China too. China is coming up and trying to find have a strong inroad to African economy. So all these interests may not just lay by and
But
allow
quickly
Africa
before,
have.
but quickly before we let you go, do you think the African leaders themselves are clear on the benefits this could bring to their states or their countries?
No, not that they're clear. It's certainly there's a benefit. For instance, you have to have unified exchange rate, faster trade, low cost of trade, increased volume of intra-regional trade, free movement, and all that. But I'm talking about the external environment that will make them have some challenges in seeing this through. Most of the African countries are immersed in one crisis or the other.
All right, we'll leave the conversation here now. Dr. Kenneth Olise, thank you for speaking with us.